wind has been extreme for the past few days. It was really cold the other night. 2 nights ago, it was like the water froze on the in puddles. But last night it wasn't as cold. It's been a little tough to get through sleeping in my car, but last night was okay. It's like when I step out of my car is when it's worse. Okay, inside my car is not as bad. It's just a nice shell of stable air. But this wind, it really blows all the heat off of you in a matter of seconds. They probably got down to, I don't know, high 20s or low 30s. It's very manageable for all my gear. So I appreciate it. I like going for walks out on this. It feels a lot better to go walking out in this weather than it does in the hot weather. Because the hot weather I gotta stop after sweating, but here I can't. It's not possible to sweat. And I can layer. I might get a little more tired in this cold though, because I carry more gear. It's about carrying the weights that may tire me out more. But I'm in a pretty isolated area. The same area that I didn't really care too much about walking around in the summertime. I really enjoy walking more in the colder weather. I prefer bicycling in the warmer weather, and then I don't know. I think I'd prefer bicycling in the cold weather too. But I'm just noticing that walking in the colder weather feels more enjoyable than walking in the warm weather. So there's definitely a difference there. And it's only going to get colder, of course, because it's only the beginning of winter time. So I just gotta stay ready. I have all of my gear on. I threw away a lot from Wisconsin. Like I had this nice shell that I wore, but I threw that away when I got to Washington because it just didn't feel necessary. But there's been some moments where I was like, you know, I could have used it. Like my ankle warmers, well, my ankle warmers and my wrist warmers got too much mold on them, so I had to toss them. So I made new ones out of wool. I'm surprised none of my wool has gotten any mold on it, but everything else tends to, like my fleece and the ripstop. They get mold on them easily, but wool does not. And it may have been like the position in my car that the wool was in that prevented it from getting mold on it. It's hard for me to say, but I think different fabrics can resist the mold easier than others. I'm not too sure about that, because some of my socks, I was surprised, did not have mold on them, and they're like cotton, so it's something I'm not too sure of. But yeah, just waiting for the library to open up. It's got really short hours. That really forces me to work outside of the library more. So I'm spending a little more time on making iPad music and reading, trying to read too, listening to podcasts, and overall reflecting on my life. Not much to reflect on there, but I'm I kind of like that I can separate myself from the internet. It's unlike people who have like a telephone connection all the time and sit on that. I break away from it by just walking away from the Wi-Fi connection. That's partly why I appreciate